right, here with Matt Smith, head coach of the Princeton girls basketball team. Matt, 16 turnovers in any phase is bad, but in the second half in particular, 25 overall. Really manageable game, and where it started to get away was with the turnovers. You talk about the struggles, but it seems like a lot of it came with the pressure.
Yeah. Well, and the thing was, like, some of those, and the frustrating part is some of those are self-inflicted. Like, we're still speeding ourselves up because we see pressure and we automatically think it's got to make us go fast, and it doesn't. And when their first quarter, into the second, and even times later in the game, maybe third or beginning of fourth, we were able to stay calm, get the ball to the middle of the floor, and make them move. But yeah, there were too many stretches, especially in that second half, where we allowed their pressure to move us to the side, and then passing angles become bad, and we just, I would say, we didn't always make the right read.
How about the struggles that second quarter? I think you were up at 7 at one point, and then in the quarter down at 9 almost at the end before they hit that late shot. But a 16-point swing there in one quarter is really tough, especially that early.
It is, and our problem right now, shots were falling early. We're moving, we're passing, we're getting everybody involved. And once it stops, we get stagnant. And when an offense gets stagnant, it's not very good. And I think we have too many stretches of that still, where we're not gonna make all our shots. But if we quit running through our stuff, now not only are we not making anything, we're not making the defense work either. So we can't then rely on them having tired legs later on. So that's the things that as the season goes on, we're gonna have to keep working on and continue to grow, value the basketball, making sure that our highs don't get too high, lows don't get too low, and we just maintain a steady balance of basketball. Because I really believe in it. I told you this early. I think we're going to be fine later once we kind of see. Because I don't know if you can keep it up, but we've had this was Huntington, we had GW, we've had Pushrow, we've had Nitro. So we've been put in this situation. There's a reason for that, because as well as I do, none of this matters until we get to that tournament play. And the more times we can be in these big settings against good teams, the better we're going to be, because we're young, we don't have a senior, so they have to see it. And right now, part of the growing pains of seeing it is now we have to learn to adjust to it.
A month in, what are some of the improvements that you feel like you've seen over that? Obviously, you have a signature win over Nitro. You talked about GW, and obviously today Huntington, and then up next Wyoming East.
Yeah, it gets a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
And don't forget next week, Jason Rowe also. Yeah,
probably Greenbrier East in there somewhere.
Something rescheduled for the end, yeah. So, yeah. I'm sorry, we were talking about that. I forgot what you were asking.
Just like, what have you seen? Like, talk about some of the improvements from playing that schedule.
We're starting to settle into what we are for longer periods. Okay? And what I mean by that, when we go for Woodrow and it's very physical and it's whatever, we were shying away from things a little bit more. Against GW, we didn't shy away from it for as long. I thought we played probably a solid 16 minutes. I think probably tonight we probably played a solid 16 minutes. So the growth of it being too big or it being too physical or whatever, shying away from things, we're starting to move in the right direction. We just got to move from that 8, 16, 24 now to being able to do it for 32 minutes. And when we do that, we're going to be a pretty good basketball team. But that's part of the process. That's why games don't matter until the end of February.
Gotcha. Thank you.